Thank you. My name is Yash. I'm a former international student from Loughborough University. I came to the UK 3 years ago and I'm currently in the process of a skilled worker visa application with my employer. As you said about the investment, how much I started with, where do I begin? We had this conversation on this table, and I think whoever I try to explain how much money I've put in. So let's begin first things first. I started with my education loan that was around 31 grand, which by the time I graduated became around 49 grand or 52 grand, sorry. And yeah, sorry, I can hear that. So it is different for international students from the UK. It's because we don't get any kind of government funding. We have to take loans from banks, private institutions, and that's why we have a very high interest rate. Mine started with 12.45. By the time I graduated, it was 15.5. And imagine on 31 grand, 15.5 interest. Whilst I was also paying a compound interest of £240 every month while studying, which my parents were paying, but yeah, it all adds up. So if you consider that 31 grand aside, on top of that, you have to pay for your visa application fees, your NHS surcharge that's just recently gone up. You have to pay for all the English language testing requirements that your university needs you to do, which might not be needed at a later stage, depending on the UK visa rules. But yeah, so I got exempt from it, but I'd already invested money in it because I gave IELTS at that time, just before applying. Then you go from there, you get on a flight, you come here, this all adds up. Here we are almost reaching 40 grand. You pay your accommodation fees and everything. Again, international students don't get a guarantor. When you step in the country, before that, you have to pay the whole year's contract. So I had to pay 13 months contract at my off-campus student accommodation of like around £7,000 in one go. So that, like, closing all this there, then you start living here. Then you start applying jobs for part-time. You come with like a certain amount of money when you come to this country, which your parents must have given you, or with your loan applications. Anything, let's not get there. You start living on that money. Then you start applying part-time jobs. You start working there. International students start paying taxes as well on top of that, which you don't get anything in return. You can't apply for tax returns. You can't claim any public funds. Please don't do any mistake and try to claim any funds, because it will affect your visa application further when you try to apply for your skilled worker visa or your post-study work visa. Then, going ahead, you start living your life continuously. You dwell in with students, you dwell in with the community. You start going out, you do trips around the country, you travel, and all is there. Then you start looking for jobs. Then the time comes, you graduate, you pay for all the money there that you have to do for your gown and everything and stuff like that. But again, once you're graduated, you have to apply for your post-study work visa, which again is around 4 grand now.
Yeah.
When I applied, it was 2987 if I remember it well. But yeah, so it's 4 grand now. Then you also have to pay, in that 4 grand, NHS surcharges included, which has gone up again. So yeah, I think I would have reached by this time around 70 grand. On top of that, I also paid like my student accommodation. Because I extended the contracts, I paid around 2.5 grand, 3 grand somewhere there. I made visa applications on my own money that I had earned from part-time working. Then you move around the country, because obviously once you're here and once you start working with your employer or anything, you move around, you get into housing and everything, which I had no clue about when I was signing up for this. But again, these are the kind of things I request that people would have told international students before.